Hello and welcome to yet another vlog. Right, so today I thought I would show you a few miniatures which I have recently received because a friend of mine put into a Call of Cthulhu Kickstarter that happened recently and asked me if I'd like a few of the miniatures, and I said yes, I would like this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. Anyway, so here they are. Haven't done anything with them yet. So, yeah, this is a flying polyp. It's a formless sort of mass of eyes, tentacles, and teeth that floats around and drags tentacles behind it. Formless masses of eyes, teeth, and tentacles is a big theme with these miniatures. Also, pronunciation may not be accurate, so when I say one that I'm not sure the pronunciation of, I will put the way it is spelt on the screen below. Like there somewhere. Right. Yeah, so it's quite nice. Not sure how I'm going to paint this up. Guess what I could do is actually look up descriptions of these and then talk about how I might paint them based on that. One moment while there is a jump cut. Okay, so according to the H.P. Lovecraft Wikipedia, or the H.P. Lovecraft Wiki, under description, it's got the precise nature of the flying polyps is unclear. The records kept by the great race of Yith are notably evasive, making fearful references but shying away from actual descriptions, so that's helpful. They are capable of flight, although they lack wings or other appendages to facilitate this. And they were capable of controlling air currents for offensive and manipulation purposes. Although airborne, they seem to make some contact with the ground during movement, as they leave behind 5-toed radial footprints wherever they go. So yeah, that's flying polyp. No real mention of sort of what colours they're supposed to be. There's an illustration on the wiki, which has got them sort of green fading through to sort of fleshy beige and purples. I might go with that. Something like that. Don't know. My feeling is that I'd quite like to do this sort of a disturbing fleshy purple. Which I think I'd achieve using sort of flesh colours and then shading them with like purple and red and blue washes. I think that should get the kind of effect I'm after. We'll see when I paint this, which could be a long time because of how long it takes me to paint things. Right, shall we move on to the next one? Okay, so here I've got a formless spawn. Pretty easy to pronounce. According to the H.P. Lovecraft Wiki, true to their name, formless spawns are polymorphic entities made of black ichor and look like amorphous goo. They're extremely resilient and very difficult to dispatch. Much like Shoggoths, they can shapeshift both to take various forms and to shape appendages to suit their needs for accomplishing their master's bidding, and attack their targets in nearly every conceivable way. They are surprisingly flexible and plastic-like. Well, this is definitely plastic-like because that's what it's been cast in, and can quickly flow into a room through the tiniest of cracks. They attack by trampling their targets, biting them, or crushing them within their grasp. The Call of Cthulhu role-playing games entry on the formless spawn also claims They are powerfully acidic in substance and can dissolve human flesh with even the slightest touch. Formless spawn often rest in basins in Sathagoa's temples and keep sanctuary from being defiled by non-believers. Again, oh, actually it does say they're black, yes. So this I will be painting black. Black! 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 Like the formless spawn! Black! Yeah. Black is a pain in the arse colour to paint, so I will actually be painting it a very dark grey or purple, and then sort of shading it in various other dark colours. Overall it will look black, but it will still retain the sort of highlights and texture and stuff I like to get. Again, it's a formless, writhing mass of teeth and tentacles and eyes and so on. A lot of these Lovecraftian creatures are. So, let's move on to the next one then. Okay. Oh, out of shot. Into shot. Okay, so this one is a hunting horror. And the HP Lovecraft Wiki has a stub of an article on this. And all it's got is a short quote. And hoary Nodens raised a howl of triumph when Nyarlathotep, close on his quarries, stopped baffled by a glare that seared his formless hunting horrors to grey dust. Yep, very descriptive. So this thing is formless, is a horror, and hunts. Do wish I had more immediately available to me more information. And not sure when I read that last. In fact, recently I haven't been reading H.P. Lovecraft so much as I've been listening to it. There is a wonderful YouTube channel called Horror Babble, and there's this guy called Ian Gordon who reads things by H.P. Lovecraft. That was a terrible impression of him, but he is very good at reading, and he has this amazing voice that it just sounds Lovecraftian. Brilliant. So I can't remember if he has done one of this yet. If he has, I probably listened to it at the time it was out because I've been subscribed to that channel for well over a year now, and I've listened to everything on there. Great channel. I will link. I will put a link in the description below. Yeah, sorry, back to the hunting horror. So, yeah, it's got this illustration in the wiki, which I will cut in here. And, yeah, this is a worm with wings and teeth. This isn't quite like the illustration. But it's sort of got the same basic form. I like this. It's got these like rigid plates on here, going all the way down. It's got a whole bunch of, I'm going to assume, eyes there, or there could be nostrils. Don't know. I might have to look in the Call of Cthulhu book, or at least my old Call of Cthulhu book, for more information on these. Rather than the stub on the HP Lovecraft wiki. So, I think it might be time for another cut of the jumping. Yep, this is my copy of Call of Cthulhu. It's the old Chaosium / Games Workshop one. Look at that. When they made nice books back then, and the pages hardly ever fell out, which was quite a common thing for the pages to fall out. It's a Games Workshop logo on there. I cannot get it into focus currently. Yep. Very nice old book. This, right, I am going to open up this book and look for the entry on hunting horrors if it is in there. Okay, here we go. Right, so according to my Call of Cthulhu book here, hunting horrors, brackets, greater servitor race. Description: these beings resemble enormous ropey black serpents or worms possessing bat-like or umbrella-like wings. Their forms constantly shift and change, twitching and writhing so it's hard to look at them. They may only have a single large wing rather than two. They speak in great harsh voices. A hunting horror is normally around 40 feet long. Again, this is a description that doesn't quite match what's on the model here. There's no mention of four wings. There's an illustration in the book here. Let's see if I can do a clever and point the camera at it. And by clever, I mean a terrible, terrible shot. Right. Yeah. That's, I guess, mostly like the model. It's only got two wings though, and its head looks more like a Jabberwock head to me. Anyway, right. Let's put the camera back down here. So yeah, this is, well, there's another creature that's basically described as formless. But the model is well formed and is not just a mass of writhing tentacles, eyes and teeth. So yeah, it's one of the more interesting models in this range, I think. Right, now on to some others. Right. What do we got here? We have got Nyogatha. The word will appear here so you can pretend to pronounce it yourself. Right. Now, shall I look on the Lovecraft wiki for this, or in my book? I believe I will look in the book. Nyogatha, the thing that should not be. Nyogatha is a minor deity reported to inhabit the underground caverns of the earth. It may be related to Cthulhu. Nyogatha resembles a blob of living darkness which may throw out tentacles or pseudopods at will. Again, model not quite matching the description. But it's a nice model nonetheless. These look more like sort of blind hydra heads or sort of worm heads than they do like pseudopods or tentacles or whatever. It's certainly got the blob thing going on at the bottom there though. Yeah. Again, this is one that's going to be painted black, isn't it? I'll try and do something a bit more interesting with that. Maybe a purple or something. Oh, bases on these, very nice. Each one appears to have its own unique base, but they're this same general sort of round flagstone type design. This is probably not actually the best model to try and show you on because it takes up most of its own base. Right, let's move on to... It's a Shoggoth. There we go. Yep. These are, of course, the formless, shape-shifting things what live under the ice and in other places below the earth, apparently. And yeah, it's another creature that is a formless mass. It's described in the stories as having these like temporary eyes that appear and disappear. So that's quite nice. They've got this onto the model here. That is the door buzzer. I'm going to have to stop filming. Yes, it's a Shoggoth, everyone's favourite formless protoplasmic creature. Well, it's my favourite at least. I don't know about you. Yeah, again, quite a nice model. Uh, the sort of temporary eyes that form on its surface, they're really well represented. They'll be nice to paint up. I don't have much more to say about this one, really. Yeah, it fits the bill. It's perhaps not as big as I'd expect. It's supposed to be about sort of 15 feet across. Uh, this is more sort of 10 feet across to scale, but that is nice because that means it will fit down corridors in my dungeon. Which means I can do scenes sort of reminiscent of the bit in Mountains of Madness, where there's one of these coming down a tunnel and it completely fills it. And they're sort of running away from it. And so on. Yeah, nice model to show off. Right. And this is Tolchka, the Green Flame. That's the entity that appears in the story The Festival. I don't think it's actually named Tolchka in that, but yeah, that's what it ended up being called. Yeah, again, it's a nice, interesting model. This might paint up well as sort of an evil fire elemental type, but I think I will be painting this in its intended green flame colours. It's got this weird sort of extra sort of whippy arm of flame round here. I'm not sure if that's bent out of shape or what. It's weird and loose. I might do something to this to sort of shore it up a bit. Try and find some pictures, see how this is supposed to go. But yeah, it's nice. It's again, it's a relatively formless thing that has to be given a form by becoming a miniature. Yeah, not really much to say about this. It's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Okay, so finally, it's not a creature. It's the Summoning Circle, which is sort of a replacement for a board game piece from Cthulhu Wars. This is a three-dimensional representation of one of the... Is markers the right word? Markers is possibly the right word. Yep, this will be good in sort of any dungeon, really, as a sort of sacrificial / ritual focus point. Got some nicely detailed skulls here and there. It's got this pentagram-ish magic circle there. And these bits, which I believe are sort of altars designed in such a way that you would drain blood through them. Whatever you put in there would drain blood out and drain into a hole in there, and then drain into the design of the magic circle here, which is a nice touch. Yeah, nice piece. It's got these markings on the stones around the edge. I think when I paint this I'll go with a sort of Doom 2016 look and have these runes here painted as glowing. Not sure if I'll do the same with that or not. I might try for actually painting it so it looks like blood's just running into these. That could be interesting. But yeah, nice focal point for a ritual, I think. And I don't know if this is intentional or not, but I discovered while I was playing with these that most of the bases of these fit rather nicely there on these little flat bits. I'm guessing in the game, which I have not played and do not own, these will start on one of this. But one of these is where a monster will start. So it's a nice little touch, making it quite functional in its way. Now, you know what, that one doesn't fit quite as well. What a nice group shot of Eldritch Horrors. Well, yeah, that's about it for another vlog. Hopefully I'll be showing you some of these painted in the near future. And I'm off to try and do something a bit more productive now, rather than just sitting around playing with these. So, yeah, I need a goodbye catchphrase.